Yes, good evening, everyone. Yeah, this is going to be my first presentation for database, and I'm going to be presenting about the review paper that I was given. Yeah, it was concerning SQL injection, how it can be detected. Its title goes an efficient SQL injection detection system using deep learning. So without wasting time, I want to dive into my findings as a summary of the readings that I had in that particular review paper. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I hope you all can see that. Okay, the background we asked to talk about how the project is related to the current project that I'm doing for database. We haven't yet got projects, but for my AI project, it's related in a way that it's going to the SQL injection detection mechanism is going to be using artificial intelligence, and in particular, it's going to be using machine learning, and then deeper into partition, it's going to be using things such as deep learning, neural networks, embedding, layering, and then dense layer also. So in that way, it shows that my AI project is connected to this detection mechanism in such a way that the algorithms we're going to be using are going to be all related in the area of artificial intelligence. So the problem that it is addressing. So in the review paper, they talk about SQL injection, and one may be forced to think that the research is trying to solve the problem of existence of SQL injections and how to go about them, but yet blind to see that actually the paper is trying to solve the fact that the existing SQL injection detection mechanisms are not efficient and not completely combating the SQL injection attacks. So just as it states, one may say that the research is addressing SQL injection, which could result to breach of user information stored in the database being vulnerable, yet blind to see that the main focus of the research paper is failure to present the models to completely failure for the present day models to completely and efficiently neutralize SQL injection, as seen where some models depend on a fixed algorithm and unable to detect the patterns, while others are using classical machine learning models, which may be poor when compared to deep learning models. So just as I said, and this actually presents two problems. Models having targeting or specific attacks that they have already interfaced with, and also models using techniques that are really not related to deep learning, and they are therefore not efficient. These models are running using computers, so if it's a computer, yeah, it's much better if it does its thing in a computerized way. So deep learning is the way of thinking of computers. Okay, method. Let's outline the methods used. So the methods they used in this model are training the proposed model with a data set of many instances. So first, one of the problem was that they are targeting only few attacks. So now if you could train the model with more attack techniques, yeah, you could reduce that space where it is failing to detect new attacks. And then deep learning. Now, deep learning is it's a branch in machine learning, which is a branch in artificial intelligence, where artificial intelligence is related to how machines are doing their things, are made, or should I say, are programmed to behave like the way human could behave, but not really like to behave in a rational way, something like that. So deep learning, this guy is introduced a deep learning model with embedding layer technique, which depends on raw data instead of predefined features, which which prove out to be ineffective. So now, labeled features are already existing features. So teaching something using supervised learning may seem to be easy to do in the first place, but which are the current models are doing. But if you try to use unsupervised learning makes the job easier, where you begin categorizing and doing stuff. So these predicted features, you as the data gets much, you have to okay, yeah, it takes a lot of time to categorize, like keep on labeling features and stuff like that. But if you used unsupervised learning, yeah, it can be much easier, and also you can get more results, as you will see if you follow the next videos. Well, what are the numbered results in the usage of this technique? After introducing the methods they used, they got a cross-validation accuracy of 98%, precision 98, and a recall of 97. So this is actually very good uh, for any model. 97, 98, it's actually there. So limitations and future directions of research project. So some of the limitations, the current systems include, some of the limitations are machine learning limitations. So since it's using machine learning, so some of the limitations that this model will be interfacing with machine learning limitations, where one of them is time constraint, also lack of prediction, like like machine learning, there's a lot of prediction. So now that prediction, it's on a small scale, like, oh yes, we're doing a lot of predictions, but still like according to what we could predict small. And computational power, there's too much data, of course. Not every processor is designed to do that. Very large volumes of data, lack of variability, time constraint, limitations of predictions. Now, there are other limitations. The current system include the model relies on a single word tokenization and does not incorporate the n-gram models. This makes the model unable to get context of the complete sentences. This may not be needed in most of the SQL injection attacks, but there are a few cases where the model can misclassify, leading to decrease in precision, but recall won't be affected. So just like this, the model could misclassify because of the text they're using, misclassify, leading to reduction of precision, but recall won't be affected due to these described problem here. Actually, I don't understand the described problem, but it's a problem because I've not gone so much. The n-gram models are not very really familiar with them. Yeah, but it comes also in that. So the future predictions. So future directions, since this model is using machine learning, its future direction is really closely related to machine learning future directions, which may include things such as transfer learning, human learning, continuous learning, reputable representation, future presentation, to mention but a few. What are the main conclusions? The research has introduced embedding layer, which is a neural networks layer used in case of text data. Here, the input text should be encoded as an integer. Initially, it is always assigned random weights, but it keeps updating during the back propagation process. So embedding layer is a mechanism that they use to, okay, like let me say, if you say some text, like you say out some sentence, and then you get that sentence, each word you map it to a specific number, a digit, and then you work with those digits in certain ways. So now with SQL injection, since people could be using what is it called, disjunction, things like those, as they're inputting data, such that they do some other queries that are not required. So now, if you could get the words that all the information that users are using to feed into the database, like to be stored, and then you just map them to digits. Actually, digits won't be doing any harm. So you'll be keeping digits in the database, but as you retrieve them, you map them back. So that's what I try to understand. And in introduction of this layer, these layers are deeply connected neural networks, very vital in assigning weights to the weight vectors during backpropagation. Backpropagation is just like the way the thing says, it's backpropagation. So in neural networks, there is forward propagation, like lots of neurons leading to other neurons, leading to other neurons, like that. So backpropagation, they use this mechanism to go about this problem. So those, and then quotes what type. Okay, the quotes are, I would like to quote the fact where it says we have demonstrated how websites can implement our machine learning model on their phones and login sessions to confidently detect whether a person is trying to attempt an SQL query or not. Actually, this shows that they were successful, which is good. Using neural networks instead of classic machine learning model gives us a better result and higher recall. Also, this emphasizes the fact that they were successful, so it's possible. Then core references, you can check out research on SQL injection attack. Core references, these are some of the references that are the way that were trained. Okay, like some of the most important references. So there is, since we're doing SQL injection, so research on SQL injection attack and presentation technology based on the web. It was in 2019, it was a journal. And then these guys, Chinese, by the name of, by the structure of their names, they also had some research on that injection. Then there is also SQL injection attack detection and prevention techniques using machine learning 2020. So with that, I think I would like to stop my sharing. Thank you for listening, and keep logged in such that you get more from me next time. Okay, thank you.